Good morning. Today's date is June 16th, 2025. Time is 5:45 a.m. Now, before I head out for the day, I figured I'd put out a video. This one was one that I've heard on several occasions dealing with Rockland County, New York. Now, as you know, I'm from New York, and if you don't know, well, now you do. And I also spent most of my early childhood in Rockland County. I'm very familiar with the demographics there. I'm very familiar with the people and how they think. I grew up around a lot of Catholic nuns, and I was just there not too long ago, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and I was talking to them about certain things dealing with our government. And believe me, they're not in favor of the orange man. Let's put it that way, in no way, shape, or form. And these are Catholic nuns. Okay, so having said that, well, anyway, this next video that's coming up is a video talking about those issues in regards to Rockland County and tabulations as far as when the votes were casted and the various tabulations, and how there are missing votes and how there are totally no votes for one candidate over the other, even though one candidate won or the down ballot races anyway. And this is indicative in a lot of states and a lot of counties as well. They've overwhelmingly won the down ballot race, but then when it came to the presidential race, they didn't fare as well. They also, in the down ballot races, for one candidate, there was no votes at all, even though they won a majority, or even though the Democrats won the down ballot races. For that Democratic candidate, there was no votes at all. And there was also no votes for third-party candidates as well. Now, as I said, this is indicative of many states and many counties, including the swing states. Now, people have been looking at all this thing that the orange man is doing, and they're up in arms about it. But no one's really, well, I won't say nobody, but I don't hear a lot about people questioning whether he should even be there. And I have videos talking about this. I have a gentleman from Election Truth Alliance who talks about it, and there's other creators here that talk about it as well. Now, before people go off the handle and start saying propaganda, liberals and, crying liberals and what have you, what these people are doing is they're looking up the facts. They're getting all the information today or over the last several months, and they're crunching the numbers. The math is not mathing. A lot of missing votes. So, before we go out and start spewing what is what, we're doing our due diligence. We're doing our homework. We're making sure everything is accurate before that information is brought to people that can actually do something with it. Now, as far as the federal government's concerned, the orange man has them tied up, so there's no way you can bring that to at this time anyway. 2026. If this same mechanism is in place, it could jeopardize the 2026 midterms, okay? But if it's found out and the mechanism used is found out, then you're looking at 2026 being on the up and up, okay? So as I said, the people who are involved with this, and there's a lot more people than what you know, these discussions are going on in the background. Right now, it's more of an investigative analyzing data, but when the proof is there, I guarantee you whoever these people are going to bring it to the states. And through the states, several things. People who are complicit won't have federal protections, and neither will the orange man. So these are things that happen in the background. I mentioned it in many of my videos. I've talked about it in some of my lives, but I wanted you to go and take a look at this video. It's not my creation, and I'll give the link to the creator in the comments. Go follow her and follow whatever content she has. But as I said, I'm just giving my comments on this particular video, and of course, what things have been happening in the background. Good enough? Well, I'm out for my day, and I'll come back a little bit later on. I did promise to throw out some videos as far as the military parade is concerned. I'll do that a little bit later on today. Good enough. Have a nice day. Like, follow, and by all means, repost. Thanks.
Something flying under the radar that you're going to want to pay attention to, because this could have far-reaching effects on the presidential election that happened in 2024. Now, this is all coming out of the state of New York, specifically in Rockland County, New York, where a bipartisan watchdog group called Smart Elections decided to start looking into some anomalies when it came to the numbers out of the 2024 presidential and senatorial elections that happened there. So there are two huge things that they're talking about. The first one being that when the presidential election results came out with the specific numbers, the third-party candidate was missing completely. And people are like, hey, we voted for them. Like, where are our votes being tallied in anywhere? They just disappeared. They're not being counted. They're not showing up on the election results. The second one is that in a district that went 75% for the Democratic nominee for senator, Harris got 0 votes in that same district. 0. That is an anomaly that I'd probably want to look into too. And when they got up there and they started talking to people, these people were like, no, I voted for Harris or I voted for the third party candidate. And both of them, one is missing and the other one has 0 votes. Folks, strap in because this could get messy because we've been talking about electronic voting and the ability to hack it. And this might be the tip of the iceberg because if they're finding this in a place like Rockland County, New York, they're going to find it in other places. So keep an eye on it. Go check them out. Smart Elections. They are a bipartisan group. And let's just stay tuned on this one.